My Instagram public.
Oh, I am a huge fucking nerd. That's right, I'm a huge fucking nerd. I like lots of books and computers, cause I am a huge fucking nerd. Oh, I am a huge fucking nerd. That's right, I'm a huge fucking nerd. I like lots of books and computers, cause I am a huge fucking nerd. Oh, I am a huge fucking nerd. That's right, I'm a huge fucking nerd. I like lots of books and computers, cause I am a huge fucking nerd.
What's up, y'all? So, I don't know why I just played that song. I don't know why. I just did it. It was random. It was really a random song. So, I just wanted to do it and play it. But, however, yeah. There's some stuff that I definitely want to go over. And, just start playing at or actually examining. And what's going on, y'all? We're going to actually play some stuff. I was going to do it while playing my game, but I was like, you know what? That's not credible. That's not credible and respectful. Yo, nerd face, green smiling. Like, what's going on, Mike? And I want to play some stuff. Between that of a conversation between content creator Dave, um, content creator Man of Tomorrow. And what's going on, Mike? What's going on, V Dub? And I want y'all to listen because there's a lot of important stuff. Do me a solid, share the video, share the video, share the video. There's a lot of stuff that you guys need to be aware of. That y'all need to be aware of that people will say or do to try to latch onto you or try to set you up into their programming. And what happens is there's a lot of men here that do that. There's a lot of men that do that. There's a lot of women that do that. Uh, and sadly, they're not going to stop. And a lot of people say that this place is a conducive space, but they're parasitic. They're very parasitic in nature. They like to get on and say that we're here for resources, but they troll. They like to say that they're around here to build. What's going on, Hatch Dragon? I got to make sure I get you squared away as well as Superman. But there's a lot of them that pretty much have a lot. They come over the guys to say that we're here to build, but they're not. They're actually either weird or pretty crazy or have like some kind of unhinged psychological development. And we're gonna play that through that a showing that was just did with Man of Tomorrow. And I know how people feel, whether you like him or you don't like him, but he does remain consistent with how he is about productivity. And I'm a huge supporter of Man of Tomorrow. But I don't care how y'all feel about it. I have built great content as well as development with lobbying, politics, as well as business and development for men with Man of Tomorrow. He is a very, very, very well rounded guy when it comes to that of resources of talking about it, analytically breaking it down, as well as having certain vices of conversation. He just has no filter for the BS. But once in every full blue moon, he will entertain that of the parasites, and I call them parasites because I'm going to play for y'all some something of a dialogue that he has back with that of a parasitic person, and I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to listen to that of what is said, and I'm going to catch it. Okay, I'm going to catch it to what's being said because you got to listen to stuff that they start to say that they're trying to rope you in. And that's the thing about this space where people say we need to have the conversation. To those people, I say fuck you. No, we don't. There's no we. It's you and us. They, them. I'm not doing. I'm not compromising anymore with a lot of these people because they don't mean well. It never did. It's a hustle for them. It's like they like getting their coins because they don't care what damage they do, so long as they get paid. So we can go ahead and have the conversation. This is going to be a very good one. Um, let me go ahead and grab. Let me go ahead and grab it right now. What's going on, son? Let me go ahead and grab it for you guys. And I want y'all to get to hear. I want y'all to get to hear some of the talking points. Okay. Now, let me get at it. Now, let me know if y'all can hear it. The stream was right there, and it was like you only regain a sense of self, not lose it. And I can understand that because when it comes to that being in certain environments or dealing with certain people, you have to know who you are when you're amongst people or certain groups or certain talking points and keep that as your own. And some people are not adequate or trained to do that. They're not trained with a certain level of functioning on how to do that. So when that happens, they kind of get dragged down in the muck. Now here, MOT for almost about an hour has been talking about productivity of being in bettering yourself as a man, removing yourself from the situation, how to actually be a better individual, right? And what happens is a person that comes up and says, David Johnson, the asshole, is here. So what happens after that? What happens after that is a person, and this is something that you men got to understand. When a person comes up with something like that, I'm a jerk, I'm a liability, I'm an asshole, I have no respect. You got to take it for who they say they are. One says, I'm trying to build better men and be the man of tomorrow. One says, I'm an asshole and I'm here in your space. And so once that's already been established, the conversation, in my opinion, shouldn't have gone nowhere. However, MOT is going to give us a demonstration of just what's going to happen. Okay? We're going to play out that of the conversation. Make sure I grab it correctly. 1 hour. Now, this is already an hour and 1 second in. 1 hour and 1 second in. What's going on, Jay Charles? What's going on? Shout out to brother Jay Charles. We're going to definitely have to break this down. MOT, if you ever want to come through, you already know, fam. You got that right. We're going to break down. One man is talking about productivity. And I'm going to show you what parasitic behavior does to you men. What happens when you align yourself and allow it to take a shape. Right? So I'm going to play the audio. I just want y'all to listen.
Like to you. You know what I mean? I call you the mean uncle. You know, you got that mean. I call you the mean uncle. That's my little personal name. I've never told nobody that. You're the mean uncle, but you're the mean uncle that a lot of times is right. Now, sometimes that mean uncle's ways may be a little draconian, But nonetheless, I recognize as a man and understand it, because sometimes there's a call for that. There is a season to be hard. There is even the scriptures say there was a season for peace. There was a season for war. There was a time to live. There was a time to die. There's a time for to help and a time to kill. So when you say,
so already we have it where the parasite is trying to give out flattery to another man. He's trying to give out flattery. And he's trying to say, I see you as that family member. Now notice, he's trying to attach himself onto Man of Tomorrow, saying, hey, you're pretty much like my uncle. You're pretty much like, we have a family. We have a family thing going, man. You got that tough love that, we need. I don't want you, you know what I'm saying? So granted, both messages are diametrically vastly different. But do you understand what he's doing, J. Charles? He's attaching himself to MOT, and he's going to play it out. Now he said, we're just like you're like my uncle. Now he's throwing out Bible scriptures and stuff. You got to be careful when they start throwing religion in that. They start talking about the time people. Half the time these people don't even know what the hell that means. They don't. But he's trying to use scriptures, because that's just how the Negro mind works for some of these people. They'll start saying scriptures mixing up with their talking points, because they really don't have nothing but a filibuster of garbage to throw out.
That I never have a problem with you. My different perspective, talking to women, because let me say this, I'm going to say this right here. Let me set this up top.
Now look how quickly he went to my perspective to talking to women. So this is a conversation, right? This is a conversation that is supposed to be about men, being men, for men, only talking and discussing men. And no more than less than 4 minutes, he started talking about women. I see you as my uncle. Here's the attachment card. You're that tough, loving uncle. But I also, it's called love bomb, standard narcissistic technique. Thank you for that. I see you as my uncle, but he went from, we're having a men's conversation. Me and Mike and Charles, Dog Stray, Hash Dragon, Underrated Darkness, B-Dub, we're talking about men. We're talking about how we need to separate ourselves and remove ourselves. That's a law of power. You remove yourself. And now he's trying to pull us in and saying, we're family. And I think that we should talk about women. Whoa. We're dealing with men. We're talking about the men's conversation. What does this have to do with women? Parasitic behavior. Parasitic behavior. Parasitic behavior. How can I attach you to that of my dysfunction? That's why I said this is the conversation y'all need to watch out for. With, let's look at the terms used towards Man of Tomorrow versus parasite talking points. Because we can be doing things where we're addressing that of what men need to be on a standard about. And they will pull out the deflection and try to loop you into, what about the women? And what about dating? And what about sex? And what about that of submission? This is their words. This is what they do. And they do it very well. This is how I'm trying to teach y'all how they operate. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be where men are supposed to be working and having set a standard of putting down the sword and say, this is what it is. And if you men want to move forward, this is what you need to start doing. And it went to, let's talk about what the women are doing. Let's continue on. Again, and tomorrow, David Johnson, mind you, he calls himself the asshole. The troll is here. Satan, the parasite, came to talk to a man about productivity. I want y'all to keep track of this, because this is how a lot of conversations in these spaces go very quickly.
Oh, a second. Wait, hold on a second. So you just said all that. So now we're about to go over the women?
No. Let me explain. Let me get.
Boom. You just said all of that, and now we're about to go over talking about women. You just praised the man about dealing with the men. Now you want to go back to talking about the women. Real, yep, I agree. Yep. KGB defector, yep. Talked about infiltration through socialist subversion. Yes, sir. Some men don't lease their purpose. Yep. If you don't let the toddler get their way, they throw tantrums. Yes, they do. Drawing the line in the sand. And that's a problem, because we're having this issue because now that we're trying to draw a line, now that we're trying to break this type of curse, the parasite can't see it living without that of a host. It needs a host. Whether it be a woman or a man or a young man or a young woman, it needs some type of host talking point to live through. Let's keep it going.
Let me get
Okay.
I'm gonna say context is everything. That is the title. I want you to stay there, because I'm going. That is a key point. Context is everything. So I'm going to set that up, because I'm going to constantly show you how the context change. There are different type of contexts, and what I'm doing is I'm going to give you credence to the niggas, the low life, nothing ass niggas who just want to sit around and talk about a bitch all day. Fuck them niggas. I ain't never with them niggas that ain't.
But he just did that. MOT's hour-long, almost an hour conversation had nothing to do with women. He literally was talking about being that of a certain standard. This dude started saying, I want to talk about that of the niggas and the bitch made you. But you brought that into the conversation. Parasitic behavior.
A nigga like successful men like you and I, MOT, that's winning. So what I learned, let me respond to
say that again.
winning, and we're, I'm going to give you an answer. Listen, I'm giving up an answer. If she's sucking dick for hot Cheetos, she got some hot Cheetos, is that really winning? See, what I learned is what everybody considers winning, and you can't change that. We all have our own opinions of it. I don't determine that winning. I determine a nigga like successful men like you and I, MOT, that's winning. So what I learned,
successful men like you, notice he's going to keep trying to put them in the same bowl. MOT, right? We got a whole bowl of certain candy, but you have some candy that doesn't belong. He's like, no, we can all be in the same bowl. We can all exist in the same bowl. The man's talking about giving blowjobs and flaming hot Cheetos, and that we're both successful men. How to go to hypersexuality? How to go to hypersexuality, and that we are one and the same. Are y'all not understanding that? You as men, y'all got to start understanding when they start inserting themselves as you and them are one and the same, that y'all belong together.
We respond to zero though before you come in, MOT. So what I say zero is, if the bitch won't do what you say, starve her out from what you got. Easy. If the bitch won't listen to you, if she's not an asset, she's a liability. Treat her as such. That's what I say. But here's the problem, Zero. A lot of men have never heard that. So should I shut up because Zero, you, me, you, I, you, MOT, and I may understand that? That's why I use the 12 grade.
Notice how he says he's inserting men on the game, on talking on some how to treat a woman, how they need to maneuver with women, how they need to be with women. This man is trying to talk about productivity, man, of tomorrow. While the other man wants to tell men how they need to treat that of a certain type of woman. What's going on? Shout out to you, Overall 99 Media. That's Dragon. If there's no shame, there's no moral compass. If you can do anything, then anything can happen to you. Lastly, you lose your situational awareness. People like this will bring everything down to their slug level. Yes, they will. Because literally one is trying to have a conversation about that of being able to stand by yourself and remove yourself from that of the problem and become your own solution. I know, but I will listen. That's why I said you only regain a sense of yourself, not lose it. The other man wants you to go back into a situation of non-productivity on dealing with that of how he say a bitch. Why would a man of standard want to deal with a bitch? Why? Because that is the talking point of what they want you to keep having, dealing with, to be surrounded by, rather than that of you finding your purpose of self and actually doing something. I told you, this space is a festering parasitic hole in which these type of men contemplate along with the women.
An analogy. There are people who are in the 9th grade. They haven't got to 12th grade. You're telling me to stop the 12th grade, but I have to keep it going on for all the people coming into the class every day. If you're good on it, move around.
Like, dude, listen, are you seriously saying that at this point in time, in 2023, the year of our Lord, people have not heard of leaving these women the fuck alone? The problematic ones? They need to be ever reminded about that?
No, let me answer him. I got you.
Let me know where I'm wrong at.
Okay, let me tell you something about me and MOT. You know why I love pushback? I love this why I came over. I like pushback. Because this shows you I'm not like the average idiot. I recognize pushback helps me to redefine. I'm gonna fuck with you now. My game plan, my strategy, my attack, my game. I'm gonna play into that.
Look at that. I want you to understand that. I want you men to hear that. I want you productive men to hear that, what he just said. Because I know, Mike, you caught that. You caught that. You caught that. One man was being productive with a message to himself. Another man purposely came to his space to insert that of a non-productive factor to him. You heard that also, Underrated. So I want you to understand that in this space that they want you to stay in or be around, we could have productive conversations. They will either be shut out or attacked or pushed against. That came straight out their mouth. That wasn't hidden. It wasn't a secret. That's what they said. I came here to give you pushback. What's going on, Kay? What's going on, Business Talk, Kay? Man, this guy be trying to tell y'all a lot of stuff to how to get y'all to the next level. What's going on, Business Talk with Coach K? Literally, this man is literally can tell you on how to grow your business, your get you a LLC, and also how to have certain streams of income to actually help the other stream of income until it's strong enough to stand alone. Shout out to Coach K for that. very good consultant. I would actually want to call him, I'd rather call him a consultant, K, than coach, because he's actually more, he consults more on that of the information that you need. That's the thing. That's the thing. So I think you more of a consultant than a coach. Coaches, I don't like them, but I like consultants. You'll never hear in a business platform, I'm a coach, but you'll hear I'm a consultant, because the consultant actually actually understand that of the algorithm of how it needs to be maneuvered. Men conversations always second class me. I'm not, I say stick to the subject. I agree with that, because the subject of the matter that men, when we're talking about business, we're not trying, what does the bedroom on subjugation of what the woman doing have to deal with that? And we're talking with Coach K about business. Keep it to business. That's it. We need to be just talking about business and marketing. When I look at Coach K talking, he brings people of his ilk, marketers, business consultants around him. Anything else needs to be voided out. When Underrated Darkness is talking about that of how men should be moving and being accountable and weeding out that of unaccountable behavior, there's no room for that. When Super Mike is talking about that of how men need to be building in that of their own micro society to build a bigger society, he's not trying to talk about, let me tell you how to seduce a woman, because there's no room for that in this conversation. Neither is there for when overall media is talking about how men need to actually start looking at the bigger picture. Man Tomorrow was having a conversation with men on how to find yourself. And this parasitic talking point man came to just disrupt the conversation, destroy that of the flow, and say, I came here to push against you. To talk about that of women. The same thing that has set this place ablaze, he came to talk about with MOT. I told you. That is much better. And I will call you that from now on. Business Talk with K. I will definitely call you that from now on. So you guys, if y'all go check out this channel, go check out Business Talk with K. Because that's the only thing I know K to talk about is business and conduct business. That's the only thing you'll see in his shorts. That's the only thing you'll see in his algorithm is him talking about business. Whether it be local or national or foreign, K just talks about business because that's his field. Shout out to you, Hash Dragon. What's going on? Always reminiscent of Quintuple Pro. History repeats itself. Exactly. Overall, says anyone who blames other people for their lack of success don't know anything. Let's get back to it. We're reviewing that of the parasitic conversation and debate with that of Man of Tomorrow and the parasitic known as David Johnson, the asshole. I'm gonna show you men the parasitic talking points that these men and content creators or these people that come around and say, oh, let's talk about resources, or let's have the discussion, or hey, we got to have this and that. That's all parasitic opening dialogues. And then once they start that shit, then all of a sudden it just starts going back to shit. So let's just get at it. There's no chasers. It is what it is. So let me go grab it. Here we go.
I don't have to redefine shit. You can be straightforward with what you're saying.
No, listen. You didn't hear what I said. CMOT, you didn't hear me. I said
I heard you.
Wait, let me say, I prefer coming to have my information scrutinized. I'm humble enough to do it, and then I recognize if what I'm saying is truth, then the scrutiny should have a problem. But here's why I learned. This is why I say I never have a problem with being wrong. if I'm wrong, I can correct. You tell me I've been fixing my truck carburetor wrong, and then I fix it right. That saves me money. I like that. I'm happy. I'm thankful for that. Where some people, when you correct them, they're angry. So what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with the construction of it. But let me tell you right now, I just said it again, MOT. The majority of people are stupid, and I told this to Edward. What we've learned, history, you can't beat history, MOT, not even your strong big ass. History has taught us that the majority of men are going to deal with dysfunctional women.
Wait, that's a choice.
Wait.
That's cultural, bro.
All right, but listen.
Just catch that. He's trying to. He went from talking about the individual issue he has as a man, and he said the majority of men. Yeah, I noticed that too, Dig. I noticed that David Johnson and Richard Payne hate this backlash against S4 because that means that they need parasitic attachment. They need productive men. You see, right now, a lot of you men have been getting starved out because you want to say, yo, dude, okay, this dysfunctional woman, as he's trying to put it, that men have to deal with dysfunctional women. That's BS. That is a choice. That is a choice. That is a choice. That is not, there is no gun to your head. Kay doesn't have to deal with it. Darkness don't have to deal with it. Dig don't have to deal with it. Mike don't have to deal with it. Overall doesn't have to deal with that. Doug doesn't have to deal with it. None of us men. Hash Dragon don't have to do it. None of us men, it is a choice to deal with that type of behavior. Exactly, J. Charles. Cognitive dissonance, a mental conflict that occurs when your beliefs don't line up with your actions. And see, the thing about it is that we're seeing that the body, right? You have it where these type of people are trying to insert a cancer body part onto a body and attach it, and the infection is just growing. The most you can do whenever you have an infection on a limb, what does the doctor say? Hey, man, either this limb's going to stay on and kill you, or we can just cut it off. Hey, man, take that leg on off, bro. Ain't no need for it now. Take it off. Exactly, that is the problem in this space. They want you to be part of their algorithm of parasitic talking points to help keep them relevant in that of them as go-tos.
Listen, show me a time. All right, I got you. I agree.
Okay. I can name off religious sects right now. Do you think the Mormons deal with dysfunctional women? Seventh-day Adventists deal with dysfunctional women? Muslims who are immigrated to the United States deal with dysfunctional women? Shit, you talking about the goddamn Amish? Do you think the Amish deal with dysfunctional women? As a culture, they don't do that shit. That's a choice.
All right, allow me to respond.
Okay.
I heard you not listening. Because if you notice, I'm keeping them concise so we can get back and forth because you be saying powerful shit. I want to get in, but I don't want to interrupt you. So I say it quickly and get back. Okay, so listen. It has nothing to do with what people do as individuals. Historically, you're not going to beat it. Nobody's going to beat history. Historically, there has never been a time where any group of men have divested from their women. It's never happened. So you know what that teaches me when I see something that's never happened? It's never going to happen. Now, that context, remember, context, everything. I'm not saying there isn't shit you can't change. There's plenty of shit that didn't happen you can change. In this regard, there's a reason why this has 1,000. It's never happened. Because somewhere down the line, it's not. It's been a point where the majority of men
are saying that you disagree.
I'm saying I know we can't get to everybody. I'm saying I know. You just said you optimistically think you can get to everybody. I don't think that. I know I'm not going to get to everybody. But again,
you're optimistically mentoring. You're optimistically talking to people as if they are owed some type of quarter because they don't get it.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, listen. I'll tell you. You got the horse right here. Let me tell you. I'll tell you. I speak this because I already know the majority of the world is dumb. I'm not going to stop the class because the majority of the world is dumb. So what I did, my homeboy told me something I never forgot. Every time we would be finna build shit, right? And we all know this guy. I was that guy one time. I go, it don't matter what we do. They not going to listen anyway. I say that all the time. That was my mind. Don't matter. I'm not going to do it. They not going to listen. And a partner said something I never forgot. He said, that doesn't matter. He says, you do it what you're supposed to do, and those who meant to get it, they gonna come, and that's who you do it for. Don't worry about those who won't get it. I never fucking forgot that, because I was just like that at first. I'm not doing it because the most of them ain't gonna get it anyway.
I want you to understand this. MOT was off to himself doing a stream. I want you to understand it. MOT, that man to the left, man of tomorrow, was off to himself, gentlemen, doing a stream where this virtuous signaling, crazy, parasitic, religious, biased asshole came to his stream to insert that of talking points of game culture, dysfunction, and hypersexuality. One man is talking about being a productive man and removing thyself from unfocused behavior. The other man is saying, hey, we can coexist together and be one. We can operate under the same umbrella. One says, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. The other one says, we are together. We're one. We are venom.
But then when he gave me that difference of understanding, that was balanced, and I've been using that ever since he taught it to me.
All right. So what I'm saying is that
Strictly, there has never been a time where any group of men have divested from their women. It's never happened. So you know what that teaches me when I see something that's never happened? It's never going to happen. Now, that context, remember, context, everything. I'm not saying there isn't shit you can't change. There's plenty of shit that didn't happen you can change. In this regard, there's a reason why this has 1,000 and 0. It's never happened because somewhere down the line, it's not happened. It's been a point where the majority of men divested from their women win.
Yes. It's called 21. It's called 21 and me. The moment you get your DNA map, you realize that you ain't got pure fucking DNA. You always have to move on to a different and a better group of people. That's exactly what that is. Those people have to move from one culture to another. The only way you can have 100% pure DNA is that if your people never move from your environment or your fucking inbred. There's only two ways. It's like, come on, man. There's only two ways.
When you start talking about logic and migration of people that are trying to build that of a better society, there's always this talking point of a group that wants you to come back because they know they can't move forward, dig. Doug, as many times as we try to have political conversations or Jay Charles has dropped information on stuff for productivity, these men don't talk about this because that would mean the focus of the sexual, hypersexual have and have not conversation would be removed from them. And it gets placed onto something that needs to actually be addressed. And see, they can't have that. Unproductive parasitic behavior of men and women cannot allow that of the men and women that are trying to move forward and build. They can't have you exist without them. So they'll keep on doing content. They'll keep making bullshit ass strategies. They'll try to say, hey, you're like my cousin or my big uncle or my brother or some shit. No, nigga, I don't fuck with you. I'm not like you. See, I don't have a problem telling that to men and women in this space. I don't fuck with you. You know why? But I want you to understand, you and I are not the same. We have nothing in common. We're not trying to rock together. When Jay Charles talks about policies and politics, or when Doug sends me articles, you think they give a fuck about what's going on in your private bedroom or about some woman that doggone didn't give you no doggone chops or some dude who ain't out there protecting you with a pistol while busting a sag? You think they give a shit about that? That's what these niggas talk about. That's what these type of inbred behavioral people talk about, man. They need you part of their conversation. They need you in to fund their bullshit.
That no, I don't disagree.
So that's what I'm saying about people not that smart. My grandfather was industrious, but he didn't graduate high school.
Well, I ain't talking about books. So like, understand this. When I say smart for me is just common sense. I'm not gonna do that because that's a problem. You don't have to have, a degree in this science. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not one of those goofy ass niggas. I know some niggas who are hella book smart, dumb as shit when it comes to common sense. I'm talking about men like you and I. We don't have to be the yes and thus and due to the point of hype. We don't need to do all that old flow show. We get right to the meat of it. So to me, your grandfather was wise. So I consider him smart. So what I'm saying is, you got some people like what you said, and I'm agreeing with you, that they're too stupid to make the right choice, and like I said again, it is impossible to say if there was no evil, how would you know good? I recognize the balance. So
shit, you talking about the goddamn Amish? Do you think the Amish deal with this fuck?
Right,
as a culture, they don't do that shit. That's a choice.
Allow me to respond.
Okay.
I heard you now. Listen, because if you notice, I'm keeping them concise so we can get back and forth. Because you be saying powerful shit. I want to get in, but I don't want to interrupt you. So I say it quickly and get back. Okay. So listen, it has nothing to do with what people do as individuals. Historically, you're not going to beat it. Nobody's going to beat history. Historically, there has never been a time where any group of men have divested from their women. It's never happened. So you know what that teaches me?
Historically, I want y'all to put this in perspective. You've never heard men bitch so much about that of the woes of women and hypersexuality as you have now. This is history. This is problematic history. That men and women has spewed so much idiocracy of talking points where the system of the government has to step in and look at shutting it down. The government has to step in. Just like they had to step in and shut down eHarmony. Y'all remember all them dating sites? What happened to them? The government had to step in. Because it was causing that of so much problematic issues. Understand that. History is trying to repeat itself. It is. I just hope that these certain people who are trying to latch on, you don't get latched into with them.
Exceptions and rarities are usually small amounts. That's a fact. Otherwise, you wouldn't be an exception if everybody was like you.
But what I'm doing is not so exceptional when I go to other cultures.
Because listen,
it's not exceptional.
Listen to me. Listen, I'll say this. Listen to me good. And I know you're going to say, yeah, but it contradicts what you say. And I'm going to say it before you say it. Everybody is not in the same headspace. Some people are behind. Some people are right on point. Some people are ahead. With that being said, I used to do this. I used to think everybody kind of thought like me until I saw they didn't. But I would think like it's just simple mathematics. But then when you recognize, as they used to say, that common sense is fairly common. It ain't as common. You think everybody at common sense should be common, but it's not. And once you understand that, then you make adjustments. See, understanding is what taught me. It could be, but let me explain to you why. I'm a realist, not an idealist. I recognize that life is meant to be bitter and sweet. I recognize that life is meant to be good and evil. It's the balance. It's the yin and yang. So I don't knock when I see evil. I don't knock when I see that. If I'm not evil, I come with the good to counteract the evil. I actually respect the evil because like scripture said, there was no evil. How would you know good? I recognize the balance. So you're never going to get it where the good.
When I told y'all that man that came up on that panel wasn't shit, I wasn't joking. He said, "I respect the evil. I respect the." Can anybody? Um, you can't make that up. Hang on, let me.
No. Listen. You didn't hear what I said. CMOT, you didn't hear me. I said me.
I heard you.
Wait, let me just say. I prefer coming to have my information scrutinized. I'm humble enough to do it, and then I recognize if what I'm saying is truth, then the scrutiny should have a problem. But here's where I learned. This is why I say I never have a problem with being wrong. If I'm wrong, I can correct. You tell me I've been fixing my truck carburetor wrong, and then I fix it right. That saves me money. I like that. I'm happy. I'm thankful for that. Where some people, when you correct them, they're angry. So what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with the construction of it. But let me tell you right now, I just said it again, MOT. The majority of people are stupid. And I told this to Edward. What we've learned, history, you can't be history, MOT, not even your strong big ass. Wait.
That's cultural, bro.
All right,
Look at this deal with this culture women. Muslims who are immigrated to the United States doing this stuff. Just like Michael Jordan never compared himself to anybody else.
And he was exceptional.
The actual approach to the actual game.
He was exceptional.
That was the actual standard.
No, he was exceptional. Everybody wasn't MOT. I mean, wasn't Michael Jordan. He was exceptional. I agree, MOT. You're an exceptional nigga. That means your exceptions and rarities are usually small amounts. That's a fact. Otherwise, you wouldn't be an exception if everybody was like you.
But what I'm doing is not so exceptional when I go to other cultures.
Because listen, MOT.
Not exceptional.
MOT, listen to me. Listen. I say this. Listen to me. Listen to me good. And I know you're going to say yeah, but it contradicts what you're saying. I'm saying before you say it. Everybody is not in the same headspace. Some people are behind. Some people are right on point. Some people are ahead. With that being said, I used to do this. I used to think everybody kind of thought like me until I saw they didn't. But I would think like it's just simple mathematics. But then when you recognize, as they used to say, that common sense is fairly common. It ain't as common. You think everybody at common sense should be common, but it's not. And once you understand that, then you make adjustments. See, understanding is what taught me. It could be, but let me explain to you why. I'm a realist, not an idealist. I recognize that life is meant to be bitter and sweet. I recognize that life is meant to be good and evil. It's the balance. It's the yin and yang. So I don't knock when I see evil. I don't knock when I see that. If I'm not evil, I come with the good to counteract the evil. I actually respect the evil because, like Scripture said, if there was no evil, how would you know good?
The man said, "I respect the evil." This individual man told MOT, "I respect the evil. I respect the evil. I understand evil, and I fellowship with evil." You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. You cannot make that shit up. Exactly. Clip. Like when somebody tells you that shit, you gotta just back away. There's nothing more we say after that. When somebody says that they're down for the fuck shit, when somebody says that they're for the streets, when they say that I'm here to be an asshole, I'm here to troll you, that's all they're just there to bring dysfunction. These are not my words. I'm only playing back to y'all their talking points. I just want to troll. I just want to SBE. SBE means I just want to troll. It just means trolling. Also, shout out to Hash Dragon when he brought up the movie Idiocracy. I encourage all of y'all to go watch the movie Idiocracy. Go watch this movie right here. Go watch this movie Idiocracy. I promise you, this movie definitely. Go watch the movie Idiocracy. I promise you. I think this movie has foretold the future. You can't make this up. I'm telling you right now. Y'all need to go watch the movie Idiocracy. It was ahead of its time. This movie was way ahead of its time. I'm telling y'all right now. What y'all see happening to the world and happening in this space, Idiocracy. That literally is this movie right here. That literally, I promise you. Y'all watch that movie, y'all probably going to fall out y'all chair and say, oh my God, we actually we replicated the movie. But literally, you just had it where a man told another man, I'm here to burn stuff, cause confusion, dissension, issues. I'm not here to build. Well, not what you're trying to build.
I recognize the best. Had I not,
but that's my point. Those are my points.
This is my point.
You're presenting my points to me as if they're your points.
So listen, I told you 3 times. You pay back on telling you. I agree with you. What I'm saying is the majority of people, like I said, us teaching the dummies teaching the few. The majority of dummies teaching a few smart people. We won't know who it is. Of people.
Presenting my points to me as if they're your points.
So listen,
I want y'all to listen to what David is going to say to y'all. Dig, listen. Doug, listen. Hash Dragon, listen. Everybody listen. Watch what David says. See, the devil or the parasite has to tell you exactly his agenda at some point because he's dumb. Because once he has you in enough, he's going to show you.
Told you 3 times. You pay back on telling you. I agree with you. What I'm saying is the majority of people, like I said, us teaching the dummies teaching the majority of dummies teaching a few smart people. We won't.
The majority of dummies teaching a few smart people. That's his words. That's his words. Not mine. His words. That's Mr. Johnson. His words.
Know who it is until we lay it out for them to make the choices. What I'm saying, MOT. I don't know who's going to fail the class until I give the class and see who passes it. And there is no way to get around that. So this is why the 12th grade has to continue. I said earlier, but do not limit it. Again, 12th grade is not only math. You need math. I'm saying where niggas going wrong is just teaching one class. Any school that's just teaching one class is a problem. The Black Manosphere doesn't just teach about women, and you know that. Now, and again, if that person who's teaching about women is just in math, okay, but listen. So what I'm saying is that one person who's just teaching about math, aka bitches, if that is all he's good at, then that's what he'll remain in the school as. You just teach math. We ain't gonna let you teach history. We ain't gonna let you teach politics. You're gonna just be a math teacher because that's all you're good at. Shout out to the teachers who can switch it up, who can teach math.
They call elementary school teachers.
So he wants it to where they teach about bitches and they switch it up. He wants where they talk about bitches and they switch it up. He said that's why he said we're in the same school. We're in the same school. I told you y'all can't make this shit up with these type of people, man. You can't make it up with these type of people. I told you. It's too many classes on women, and that's the problem. Honestly, you only got, just about every damn class is the same class now. So, mind you, this class that MOT was teaching had nothing to do with women. This man came along and made it about teaching women. One man wanted to have a conversation about not talking about women, but talking to men about that of accountability. Go listen to that of the playback. Literally, it's right there. I will put it in the chat. The other man wanted to talk about women.
Fucking high school teachers. You have to be more specialized to teach more subjects. That's
Right.
the whole point here.
But that's
Like,
the point.
people are not more specialized.
But
They're
listen, MOT. But and I agree, and those are the exceptions. So the bottom line is, here's the thing: if I just say "fuck it," I ain't teaching because it's only going to be a few learning. Then the other few that would have learned had I continued the class, now they fail because I'm not there to teach the class. Even though I knew the majority of people are not going to get it, I don't know who's going to get it and don't until I run the class. Am I correct?
Most of the time. Hold on a second while I read this.
All right.
You know, goddamn well, I'm prophecy. You sound like Adolf. I've never seen the result do with what we need to be producing this day. So when I talk about letting these motherfuckers die from the actual consequences of Keisha, it's because they want to do that shit. These women deal with people who give them the option of dealing with them. And most of these people don't even have the actual access to them, but they still complain as if they fucking do. Now, you have both of these two groups of people who now galvanize the fucking space to keep drawing the actual mission off course by making us being like a bunch of bitch complainers rather than a bunch of men who can discuss shit, take some action, take a side, and move forward. That's the only thing that I'm saying when I'm saying that. So go ahead, David.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, so when I say all these things, is to give you, to let you know, I'm not one of those apologists, sympathizers. I'm not that. Like I said, I believe in breaking people's ass. I believe in the Bible. I believe there's a time for people to die. But what I've recognized again, what I recognize again, though, we still have to teach the course for those who don't know. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna repeat myself because I know people like to purposely.
Hey, what course? What course are we talking about here? How to get it?
Oh no.
How to get it? How to produce?
Let me answer it. How to avoid bitches and bullshit. Let me tie something else in. Let me get it for 2 seconds.
Wait. No. Okay, so how to avoid bitches and bullshit? What else?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Politics. Knowing how to be political. Knowing how to deal with your community on the social. I mean, on your public. I'm a little buzzed off the drink. Knowing how to deal with your immediate little government. You know, your
nigga, it's 11:30.
Okay, listen.
Maybe it's 12:30. Okay.
I want you to understand this. This man wants to teach a class about avoiding bitches. As if, and what's going on, Shatira? As if Shatira, Doug, Half Dragon, Dig, and everybody else, Jay Charles, and all of us in the chat do not already understand that. This man wants to talk about unproductive people. And he has literally, for a whole hour, half an hour, almost an hour, managed to come and ramble and complain about that of women in society. One man was having a conversation about men getting their shit together. But see, the unproductive parasitic behavior of men felt, no, let's talk about bitches. Let's talk about hoes. Let's talk about bullshit. How do you work with that? Why would you want to work with that? And you see, the thing about it is this. He wants Doug and Hash Dragon and Shatira to attend his class. He wants y'all to talk about the same ongoing bullshit that nobody gives a fuck to talk about. We're trying to talk about how to actually get to a higher level of finance, lifestyle, political agency, lobbying, and control. David Johnson wants y'all to talk about bitches. Exactly, sure. I mean, even the women already understand it. Like, women don't even like hanging around bitches. And if they already understand that, if already men in society understand that, why do y'all need a lesson on something that is useless? But, I forgot. Useless people need you to think that their uselessness has a relevancy. Not something to say, hey, guys, there's a form in your taxes that you can use to get back $1,500. See, that's information Kay could teach y'all. J. Charles or Doug could hand y'all out information about that of court cases that we need to start being privy to address. That's information y'all need to know. Not no stupid class about bitches and their dumbass nigga Bible. That's nigga shit. And this space is content for niggas, not for productive men like Half Dragon, like B-Dub, like J. Charles. All the productive pieces have been smothered by nigga content creators and their goddamn paparazzi. Why? Because it's lucrative nigga shit.
All right. No judgment. No judgment.
Okay. So what's what I'm saying? I'm saying at the end of the day, I agree. I said it again. More classes. Having the stuff you taught. One thing I don't like about
okay. Let's stop right here. So what you're saying is knowing and learning the history of politics and learning how to tie those politics to the outcomes of the community to which you stay.
Right. As well as business. As well as business.
Formulating one or being a good employee for one.
Absolutely. History. So you learn history because history teaches the future. You go and see the mistakes that people did and didn't do, so that you don't repeat those things. That's another thing.
Okay.
Being able to teach people that the social norms is bullshit. Back to the red pill thing. Being able to teach people what the world, what society sells us is really what gets us caught up. See, believe it or not.
What's going on, Classic Ruby? How you doing, Classic Ruby? The problem, and this is why I get scared and privy to motherfuckers around here when they come around with this red pill shit or this pill shit. Like, I want you to understand, in dominant society, this shit has no place. You're a sub-community that literally is not warranted or wanted in that of dominant society. Y'all do know, like, do y'all not know that? It's not holistically accepted. Put into that about how the FBI and certain governments review red pill or certain talking points that come out of these spaces. I don't matter what the fuck these weirdos are saying. It's not respected in any hall, school, scholastic school, or accreditation. This shit would have you fucked up. You got it where one man, what's going on, Brownie? How you doing? Where one man is trying to say, hey, you guys, y'all need to get your shit together and worry about that of being accountable. I have no problem with that because I want men to be accountable. I want men to be self-sufficient. Before you step to a woman, you should have your shit together. You should be accountable. You should be accountable for your lifestyle, your penis, your economics, your political agency. You need to be accountable. Stop worrying about, well, women are getting help financially with business. Why is that a bother to you? Well, what about us men? Well, nigga, are you going to office? Are you running for government? Or what are you doing? Listen, bro, these women are running game on us. No, right now, you're sounding like a bitch like David Johnson right now. And see, that's the problem. The bitches have cloaked themselves in like goddamn bussified men. I can't tell the difference anymore. I really can't. That's why this space is a shithole. And everybody keeps trying to polish this shit-ass turd, and it's not getting, and it definitely ain't going to clean up. Y'all are trying to take a rundown department store and still say we can still sell out of it. It's already been caught with asbestos. It's already been caught with mold and goddamn lead poisoning. But hey, we can still sell water out of here. We can still make cookies and bake and sell clothes. No. This is the problem. This is why I fuck with my homegirl Brownie. When she's doing the show, guess what? The minute negativity started happening on her show, she shuts it down. Brownie doesn't allow you to act like niggas on her show. She's like, that's not what my show's for. We're gonna either talk or y'all take that shit somewhere else. I'll shut it down. I got no smoke. When Underrated Darkness is doing the show, you better be talking about that talking point. If you ain't, get off. K the Business, same way. There are certain channels that have an ironclad clause. If you deviate from the talking point, they get your ass the fuck up out of there. But see, I understand y'all need y'all nigga dildo fuck shit. Y'all need y'all goddamn Molly popped up your ass about hearing dumb shit like niggas that they say. So understand this. Y'all got your lucrative talking points with David Johnson and all the motherfuckers like them shit. Because there ain't no fucking we in this shit. That's the problem. Y'all want to have the weed conversation. Fuck y'all weed. Y'all weed shit ain't needed. It's not. Let's have the car. No, nigga, fuck your conversation. Your conversation, the nigga want to talk about bitches and politics. That shit don't go together. Like I want y'all to put that down the pipe. Bitches and politics. How does that work? How does that work? How does that work? Bitches and politics. Let's talk about hoes in history. This is nigga education 101. This is nigga education 101. What's going on, Auntie? Only niggas will try to make sense of this. Hey, let's talk about what Sierra and Russell are doing. Nigga, they don't know who the fuck you are. What do you got? What honestly are you saying that honestly would care? Because honestly, I can promise you, if y'all could make half of what they make in their household, you would shut the fuck up. Exactly, Charles. Exactly, J. Charles. Nigga education 101. Let's talk about hoes of history. What the fuck? What are we doing? Let's talk about how to avoid bitches. That's common sense. That's common sense. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, they make the normal day thing, like, of just breathing, like, a exceptional thing. This is what happens when you entertain the niggas of these spaces. This is a grifter hangout orgy. It has been and it's become, it wasn't like that at first. That's why I can appreciate, go to certain other spaces, like let them go talk about doing box weed or cutting hair and shit like that. Let you start talking about some other shit. They get your ass the fuck up out of there. Again, in nigga content creator culture, that's what this is. Nigga content creator. I'm gonna be for real. A lot of y'all content is only nigga content. That's what y'all make. Y'all are very good at producing nigga content. Y'all don't make actual plausible shit. So it is what it is. Because ultimately, it's not something viable for everyday society.
MOT, a lot of your issues with what's happening is society teaches these things. Would you agree?
No. Even though society teaches these things, people have made an individual choice to actually engage with these.
I'm not knocking that.
It's two.
I know it takes two to tango. I got you. That's not what I asked you. I asked you, do you agree society is teaching this shit? Nonetheless. You said yes already, so we're going to backtrack on it. It's going to contradict.
Yes, but you still have a choice.
I agree. I'm not arguing that. I agree. Don't go down that route. I agree.
Come on, man. Like society was telling people that sipping on scissor was cool and sipping on lean was cool. I agree. So no matter how no fucking weed was cool. Come on, man. That's still a choice.
All right, listen.
Show me the doctor Show me the doctor that said to sip on lean. Show me the World Health Organization that said to go do Molly. Show me the professor that talked about getting bitches. And that of a New York college or a Boston Tech college. Like, I need to know. Y'all need to show me the real life equivalency of a bunch of actual licensed people. Show me the engineer that says, I need to build a bridge to get to the bitches. Show me a historian that says, I'm going to go over the history of hoes. Show me the goddamn Afrocentric historian that goes over that of the slave trade that says, hey, let's talk about that of, how to get these goddamn hoes in line and submission. That would be a great conversation, wouldn't it? You know why? Because these conversations always go to the nigga talk, the parasitic talk, the subjugation and submission talk. Let's talk about red pill and how the goddamn Spartans were red pill. Like, I told you, man, these motherfuckers here are delusionally fucked up. Hypersexually starved people that always want to talk about the same old jury dumb shit over and over. That's why I said, like, when motherfuckers say all they do is watch YouTube, I say, hey, bro, yep, I'll talk to them for a little bit. I don't call them. I don't talk to them. Anybody that tells you, listen, when motherfuckers start saying all they do is watch this shit all day long, hey, your conversations with them need to go back to 1%, if that. Anybody that indoctrinates this shit into their everyday life all day long, they have a systemic problem. Because that means they like to eat shit all day. So that means they're going to breathe fecal matter of bullshit to you. Somebody going to talk to you about, hey, let me tell you about the woes of the court. Okay, motherfucker, so have you retained a lawyer? Well, no, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, don't you have a job? You've been on a panel for like 5 hours. You could have used that 5 hours and had a part-time job. You got Uber Eats, Grubhub. You can go deliver mail. You could have got something to go get your money together to go better your lifestyle. Why didn't you go do that? So you just came here to bitch. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you do? But that's what I believe a lot of y'all do. And you know who you are. When you come around here and start talking to me about the woes of how you was out there and you were fucked up, and I'm saying, well, what did you do to change your life? Are you still doing it? And if you are, then get the fuck away from me. Sometimes y'all gotta understand, people full of shit breathe shit all day long. They're not going to try to change their lives. They're not going to try to change their life or their livelihood. You have where one man said, I'm trying to better and remove myself from the bullshit. The other guy is trying to slowly pull him in and indoctrinate his parasitic behavior into the bullshit. When literally the man just said, no. And this is not me. I'm not listening under no circumstance. I'm coming at the talking points that are being used. This is a learnable matter. This is something that I want people to learn from. This is why I sit where I sit. This is why I don't mind when they say, you're not part of this space. Fine by me. This space did nothing for me. Never has, never will, never could. I'm going to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something very pivotal. I'm going to show y'all something. Can I show y'all? Put one in the chat if I could show y'all something of how men hold men accountable. Would y'all like to see something of men holding men accountable? Put one in the chat. I want to read y'all something. And I want to show y'all something real quick. Put one in the chat if you want to see it. Two, if you want to go on with that Man of Tomorrow debating that of the Parasite. I got 1-1, 1-1. I just need, okay, I got another one. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and grab this for y'all. And I want y'all to closely look at this. I want y'all to closely look at something that I'm going to show y'all. Okay? Of men. Let me grab it for y'all. I'm gonna grab something for y'all. I want y'all to see this. How men self-correct themselves. But to some people, it's believed to be unheard of. I want to understand this is a group called Black Fathers. This is a group called Black Fathers. Now, in this group, what is going on in here? These are Black fathers in this group. So let's read this. And I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see this is what happens when you move outside of this space. My 20-year-old son asked me why I don't see my grandkids more than I do. Here is why. Number one, their home atmosphere is toxic. Their use of language and alcohol doesn't sit well with me. My son's mother is always there, and my wife is not comfortable with that. Number three, we live about 15 miles from each other. My son and his family will travel 14.2 miles to get smoothies, yet won't drive another 8 miles to our home. Number four, I only hear from him on NBA basketball. Number five, he thinks everything has to be his way and doesn't do anything for anyone else's benefit. He was not taught any of this nomadic behavior by me or from me. I told him that you treat my wife and I like you have a problem with us. He says, no. I said your actions say otherwise. There is no way I'm going to be less than a mile from my parents' house and not call them to say that I'm in the area with my children and we going to stop by. I have never been abusive towards him ever. If he needs something, I have provided. What's going on, Daniel? Now, I'm looking at it. I'm not going to give my opinion. I'm going to show y'all what other black men are going to say. Ready? 117, 312 comments. My comment is up there. I'm going to allow other men. You're missing valuable time with your grandkids. I just spent 1 week. What's going on, Phantom Podcast? What's going on, homie? I just spent 1 week at my daughter's house with my grandkids. I don't agree of some of the things but it's their house and marriage. It's about my bond with my grandkids. And yes, they're spoiled. You just said your son feels like everything done his way, but you never explained the compromise you offered. You said your son didn't learn that from you, but that's the kind of person you're coming off as. That's another man. These are not my comments. These are not comments from the manosphere. These are not comments from the gynocracy or whatever female space make believe that they talk about. These are men, fathers, grandfathers, talking to another man who's a grandfather of his accountability. Let's continue. Regarding number one, understanding that their use of language and alcohol may not sit right with you, but you got to understand that that ain't your house. If you ain't paying the mortgage or there, you have no say what they do. Further, you shouldn't pass, excuse me, let me go hit that for them. You shouldn't pass judgment on them for what they do in their house. This is a matter of having conversation, simply telling you how that makes you feel when you're there. If you won't oblige, if they won't oblige you, then that takes your grandkids out to do an activity and bring them back. These are black men. Why are these black men talking about hoes? Why are these black men getting on the mother? Why aren't these black men getting on that of the bitches? Why aren't these black men talking about that of the gynocracy? Why are they talking red pill? What are they addressing? The men have been given a task to focus on that simply of the talking point of the man. And say, well, why have you not spent time with your children? You're only about 15 miles from them. Why are you not? That's that man's house. Why are you worried and not minding your business and just go spend time with your grandkids? Why are you pressed about what your ex-wife is doing? You got a whole woman. These are black men that the Parasite, David Johnson, said are not with sense to know how to compute. But however, these men are showing differently. This is why I said this space is full of stupid and dumb people. Class Ruby says, because they find a reason to dismiss logic and reason and accountability as if it doesn't favor them. And I agree with that, Ruby. These men are holding another man's feet to the fire. Man, go pick up your babies, man. Yeah, he'll regret not doing that. Sounds like his mother successfully turned him against you. Now, one guy says, sounds like his mother turned him against you. Right? 25 likes. Right? Didn't have it where one guy said, sound like the mother turned him against you. Okay, Ruby. Okay, Daniel, we have a pushback. That could be true most time, but nah, this is on him. You know why? Because his son asked him why he is not spending time with his grandkids. He obviously wants him to. So now the mother issue has been removed by other men and said, nah, dude, the son asked you to spend time with your grandkids. The ball was thrown back off the woman onto the man. Or the other way around. With all due respect, you lost all credibility when you said y'all are 15 miles apart, bro. Like, ain't no way I'm that close in distance and not seeing them as often as I desire. I'm picking them up, dropping them off with the least amount of words. So the men are dealing with the men. There is no female interaction. I want y'all to notice that. There is no women interaction. There's no women gaslighting, inserting, doing discernment, doing prayers, enchantments, calling him Dusty Beta. Nobody's calling him out of his pocket or anything. Men handling men amongst men. But according to David Johnson, they need to teach a class of how to avoid the bitches. But the men simply said, hey, you just need to go over there and get your grandkids, dude. Why are you worried about that man's household? That's a grown man. If you got a problem, why haven't you just talked to him? See, the problem is, it was never about that of accountability on dealing with that of the situation, but how to pass it off to that of a bitch-made nigga level. So it was never about building a better man, but how to keep the better man in that of a shitty situation. He lost zero credibility. Reed, Terrence, by all means, please elaborate on. I apparently read that wrong. Raphael, read his comment in the thread. I read his comment several times and responds, well, again, with all due respect, this is how I feel. My son, who lives 15 miles away, asked me, why don't I see my kids and grandkids more often? Now, this man is asking about unless those 15 miles is equivalent to a rush hour in the ATL, LADC, in New York, hour combined, they will bring that. Then they will. Why they bring them up? Furthermore, 8 miles is closer than 15 miles. 8 miles is closer than 15 miles. Go enjoy a smoothie with them. Now, listen, the men are making up solutions. Convenience to you isn't their priority when they are bonding with their family. NBA is what, 8 months long when you include the playoffs? Shit, make it worth his time to be at your house to bond over the NBA season. My son will have his favorite choice of liquor, chair, and he can control the remote if he brings the grandkids. Wait a second, are the black men actually making a solution to how this man can spend time with his son and his grandkids? Huh. It's his life, his family, and he has a right to spend his time to benefit those he chooses to be around. He's a grown ass man that you raised him to be. Do you really think it should benefit you when he's asking you, why don't you see your grandkids more often? I believe he loves his son and his grandkids. He just wishes some things are different. And I do get, but if he put the grandkids first so they can benefit for having a relationship with their granddad, there's no way he could use the 5 things he listed as a reason not to see them more often. That's just my opinion. Again, These are black fathers having a conversation about choice. That it is a choice if the man chooses to interact with his family, dysfunction, bullshit, or literally on how they address that of societal issues. These men are not degrading the man. They're not talking about him. They're not calling him a coward, a punk, anything else, but finding viable solutions. These men are giving him options of how he can flip it in his favor.
Listen, what I'm saying, bro. I'm not. I agree with you. What I'm trying to do is get.
Men have to make a decision on what they're going to do. And if they so choose to do it, they're going to choose to do it. If not that, it's not going to go nowhere. Dads help violence. Dads help violence at Louisiana High School. CBS Evening News video on YouTube. Dads help curb violence. It's going to be up to the men. It's going to be up to the men to choose what y'all going to do with y'all life. If you're going to turn it around or not. And if you're not going to turn it around, you're going to have issues. These men choose to keep talking about the bitches. Let them. But you got to learn to remove yourself from that. I'm BMT. Y'all have a good day. Peace.